one hell of a way to spend Christmas.
Last Action Hero is a 1993 American fantasy action comedy film directed and produced by John McTiernan, with a screenplay co-written by Shane Black and David Arnott. The film serves as a satirical take on the action genre, playfully deconstructing its common tropes and cliches through a series of films within a film parodies. The story centers on Jack Slater, a fictional Los Angeles cop from a popular action movie franchise. A young movie fan, Danny Madigan, is magically transported into Slater's explosive cinematic world. Things take a darker turn when Mr. Benedict, a cold-blooded assassin from the film universe, crosses over into the real world. When Last Action Hero hit theaters, it didn't quite live up to expectations. It was overshadowed by other big releases at the time. But over the years, the movie has built a strong cult following and finally earned the recognition it deserves. It's a brilliant satire of action movie cliches, poking fun at all the over-the-top moments and classic tropes. And yes, that includes wild shootouts and an overabundance of guns. So let's dive into the firearms featured in the film, starting with the weapons used by Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, Jack Slater. Jack Slater's weapon of choice is the Desert Eagle Mark VII, chambered in .357 Magnum. He uses this gun throughout the film, when facing the Ripper during the car chase scene, while shooting sticks of dynamite thrown by thugs out of the air in the funeral scene, and when he shoots a taxi in the real world, left in shock after it doesn't blow up. Amusingly, Jack has multiple identical outfits in his wardrobe, and of course, several identical Desert Eagle pistols as well. True to the movie's style, Jack is equipped with a wide range of weapons for different situations and scenes. When Jack arrives at his apartment, he fires into his closet using a nickel-plated Beretta 85F pistol, chambered in .380 ACP. He always does this because he knows there's an assassin hiding in there every single time he comes home. The assassin is seen with a Heckler & Koch HK-33A3, chambered in 5.56 by 45 millimeters, slung over his back and holding a Kimmel AP9 pistol, chambered in 9 by 19 millimeters in his hand. In action and crime films, the hero always seems to have a gun in the glove compartment, and Jack Slater is no exception. Naturally, he has multiple firearms at his disposal. In Slater's car glove compartment, a Beretta 92 FS Enox chambered in 9 by 19 millimeter, a Smith & Wesson 5906 also chambered in 9 by 19 millimeter, and a Smith & Wesson 645 chambered in 45 ACP can be identified. In the scene with the Ripper, Jack Slater is comically forced to give up his weapons by dropping them in front of him. In addition to the Desert Eagle, the guns visible on the ground include a Colt M1911A1 chambered in 45 ACP, a Smith & Wesson 669 in 9 by 19 millimeter, and a short-barreled Smith & Wesson revolver. Jack also pulls a Colt Mustang chambered in .380 ACP from his ankle holster, which he then drops to the ground as well. In the imagined Hamlet sequence by Danny Madigan, played by Austin O'Brien, Slater uses a Mac 11 machine pistol chambered in .380 ACP, as well as a Heckler & Koch MP5K chambered in 9 by 19 millimeter. The Mac 11 also appears in the car chase scene. When Jack, playing Hamlet, rides up the stairs, he has an M60 machine gun slung over his back, chambered in .762 by 51 millimeters. Danny takes a Sig Sauer P230 chambered in .380 ACP from the glove compartment of Jack's car. He points it at John Practice, played by F. Murray Abraham, who eventually takes the P230 from him. In the same scene, Danny manages to grab Jack's Desert Eagle, until Tony Vivaldi, played by Anthony Quinn, points a gold-plated and engraved Walther PPK at him, also chambered in .380 ACP. In that same scene, John Practice is seen with a rare two-tone Bren Peregrine Falcon chambered in 10mm auto. The film's main villain, Benedict, played by Charles Dance, uses a custom Dan Wesson revolver chambered in .357 Magnum, The weapon features several modifications: a custom extended barrel with a muzzle brake, a set of large hand-hugging target grips, and adjustable target sights. Benedict uses the revolver at Tony Vivaldi's estate to shoot a bullseye without aiming, to shoot Vivaldi into his own swimming pool, and later in the real world to test the mechanics of reality. In the background of Benedict's gunroom, multiple firearms can be seen. Among the hunting rifles, a Winchester Model 70 and a Remington Model 700 are identifiable. On the left wall, an M14, an SVD Dragunov, and Heckler & Koch G3 can be seen. In another shot, a Wildey pistol, a Browning Medalist chambered in .22 long rifle, and a nickel-plated Sig Sauer P226 chambered in 9x19mm can be identified. Additionally, on top of the cabinet, there is a Barrett M82A1 rifle chambered in .50 BMG. Benedict's thugs are seen with a wide variety of firearms. When Benedict enters Jack's apartment with them, a Colt Python is visible, nickel-plated with a 2.5-inch barrel chambered in .357 Magnum. Later, the revolver is taken by Whitney, played by Bridgette Wilson, and eventually used by Slater himself. In the same scene, two of Benedict's thugs are armed with Intratec Tech 9 pistols chambered in 9x19mm. In the scene, Jack surprises the two thugs holding the Tech 9s and cleverly uses them to shoot each other. In the film, the guns fire fully automatic, so they are modified since the original full-auto version, the Tech DC-9, does not have the shroud-mounted sling loop that appears on the Tech 9. It is likely that the guns are not actually fired in the scene. This is because Arnold Schwarzenegger's hands are covering the bolts and ejection ports when the guns are supposedly firing. The gunfire is achieved through effects. The Tech 9 also appears in the funeral scene later in the film. Next, one thug tries to shoot Jack with a Heckler & Koch MP5K chambered in 9x19mm. In reality, the weapon is a civilian market SP-89 modified to look like an MP5K submachine gun. The gun has had its foregrip and trigger group swapped to enable full auto fire. It can be identified as a modified weapon by the lack of a paddle magazine release. There is a continuity error in the scene. When Jack humorously fires back by sending electricity through the dead thug's hand, causing the dead thug to shoot back, the weapon changes. Initially, the gun was a Tech 9, but when the thug fires while slumped in the chair, it has switched to an MP5K. A possible reason for the weapon switch is the ability to fire fully automatic. If the Tech 9 pistols were not modified and possibly weren't actually fired in the scene, as previously noted, the weapon may have been replaced with a modified SP-89, which was capable of fully automatic fire. The modified SP-89 is also seen in the car chase scene. At Jack Slater's house, Benedict's thugs are seen with various types of shotguns. At the house door, one thug is armed with a Smith & Wesson 3000 shotgun chambered in 12 gauge. Another thug at the door is seen with a Franke Spas 12, also in 12 gauge. One thug fires through the kitchen wall using a Winchester 1300 shotgun chambered in 12 gauge. The same Winchester 1300 can also be seen at the door in the same scene where Skeezy appears. It's also seen at the police station wielded by a female officer dressed in latex. When Skeezy is at the door, a sawed-off Stoger side-by-side shotgun chambered in 12 gauge is visible. The same shotgun is used by a thug to shoot Jack in the chest. When Benedict and the thugs enter the living room of Jack Slater's apartment, one of the thugs is seen with a Mossberg 500 bullpup shotgun. The weapon is essentially a standard Mossberg 500 modified with a conversion kit to function as a bullpup shotgun. The film contains several references to Terminator 2. For example, in the video rental store, there is a large Terminator 2 movie poster, except that Sylvester Stallone replaces Arnold Schwarzenegger in the ad. The poster also features the iconic Winchester Model 1887 shotgun in 10 gauge with a sawn-off stock, barrel, and cutaway trigger guard. Another reference to Terminator 2 appears when Jack and Danny arrive at the police station. At the entrance, a T-1000, played by Robert Patrick himself, walks past them. In the scene where the villains chase Jack Slater in a red Ford F-100 pickup truck, one of the thugs is seen wielding a .45 ACP M3A1 submachine gun, commonly known as the grease gun. During the chase, one of the thugs uses a 12-gauge Remington 870 shotgun. The same shotgun is also seen with a police officer outside Cousin Frank's house. At the bridge, a thug emerges from the side door of a black Toyota Previa van wielding a short-barreled M134 minigun, chambered in 7.62 by 51 millimeters. In the film's opening scene, police officers are seen carrying Beretta 92 FS pistols, chambered in 9 by 19 millimeters. In the same sequence, a SWAT officer is armed with a Heckler & Koch MP5A3, chambered in 9 by 19 millimeter, fitted with a Surefire dedicated forend weapon light. One SWAT officer carries a Colt Commando rifle, chambered in 5.56 by 45 millimeters, equipped with an M203 grenade launcher, chambered in 40 by 46 millimeters. Other SWAT officers are seen with M16A1 rifles, also chambered in 5.556 by 45 millimeters. These are visible behind the mayor, played by Tina Turner. The SWAT officer who gets kicked by Slater is seen with a Ruger Mini 14 rifle, also chambered in 5.56 by 45 millimeters. The weapon is equipped with a Laser Products Corporation laser sight. As the SWAT team assembles, one officer is seen armed with a Steyr AUG A1, also chambered in 5.56 by 45 millimeters. In the funeral scene, members of the Mafia are seen with a wide variety of firearms, many of which are difficult to identify. Clearly recognizable weapons include the Smith & Wesson M76 submachine gun, chambered in 9 by 19 millimeter, the Mauser C96 pistol, chambered at 7.63 by 25 millimeter Mauser, and the Walther MPL submachine gun, chambered in 9 by 19 millimeters. Previously mentioned firearms also appear in this scene, such as the Tech 9 and the Beretta 92 FS Inox. Additional weapons seen in the scene include the Beretta 93R machine pistol, chambered in 9 by 19 millimeter, the Ithaca 37 Stakeout shotgun, chambered in 12 gauge, and the LR Grizzly Mark I long slide. A memorable moment involves an elderly lady firing a Heckler & Koch MP5K PDW submachine gun, chambered in 9 by 19 millimeters. However, the gun is not a genuine PDW version, as it lacks the longer barrel with 3-lug muzzle. The MP5A3, also chambered in 9 by 19 millimeters, can be seen in several shots throughout the scene. A helicopter in the scene is outfitted with twin 1919 machine gun mock-ups. There's a continuity error involving the placement of the minigun and the twin M1919s. In some shots, the minigun is on the left side of the helicopter, while in others, it's on the right. This is most likely due to flipped footage. The helicopter's minigun is also a mock-up. When it fires, each barrel appears to fire at different positions, whereas in reality, the weapon discharges from only one barrel position. Write in the comments what you thought of Last Action Hero movie and what things and details you found in the movie yourself. Also remember to like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, it's worth doing so. It's free to subscribe and you'll be notified when more interesting videos about firearms in movies are uploaded to the channel.
Piece of cake.
Hey, you want to be a farmer?
Here's a couple of acres.
Decker, the next one I'll hurt.
Check 5! There's an officer in the building! I say again, there's a plainclothes officer in the building!